Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Colton here again. Been a couple days since I updated here, and so I wanted to give the YouTube world another shout and let you guys know how I'm doing. Still doing good. Um, Beautiful day here in the state of Utah, and we're hanging in there. Today, I was just going to discuss about taking antidepressants if you get to a dark enough place where you're just exhausted, like I was, and you were dead, and you're going through all these issues, or you have family and friends pushing you to just do it, and it's I don't think really normal people, let's call it that, nobody understands the psychological, physical defeat you go through when you come down off opioids. Opioids have been a predominant, oh, if you're in pain, take this, or oh, I had surgery, or like me here in Utah, there's a predominant religion that runs this state, and they think that, and here in Utah, we have a really, really bad opioid epidemic with heroin especially, but also with prescription pills, because a lot of the times, people get on a prescription, such as opioids, they get addicted to it, and they keep taking it. The doctor ups their dose, and it becomes a part of their life, and they don't really understand the effects of drugs, and that prescription drugs can be just as harmful and dark as any other street drug. And so why I'm explaining that is because it's just, it was such that depression part of my detox really, really put me in a dark place. And my wife has never really used any drugs in her life, and a lot of people will push you, of course, and it's nice to be encouraged or pushed, but it's different when somebody's pushing you when they don't understand what you're going through. And so anyways, like I said in my first video, I got on this SSRI antidepressant called duloxetine, aka Cymbalta. You may have heard the advertisements on TV about it, and they say, oh yeah, Cymbalta cures anxiety and depression and does this and that, and then at the end they go brrr and go through all the bad side effects. And so, it was okay, but man, and I've been updating my videos since I've been on it, but I stopped taking it yesterday, and I took it for about 10 days, and man, with those kind of antidepressants, they're almost as scary or worse than an opioid drug, because people that get on those drugs go through horrible side effects to get on those drugs, and then to detox off them or to get off of them is even worse. And I'll share what I've been going through, and it hasn't been all bad, but the side effects were bad enough for me where finally yesterday I said, you know what, if I keep taking this, because I don't want to be, I wasn't planning on even being on it that long, and I feel fine, fortunately. I think maybe that's because my body, has been through so much that, maybe the antidepressant ain't nothing to that. But anyways, so yeah, I was encountering some side effects, and at first I kind of shrugged them off, but they were getting worse each day I was taking it. And I think I shared it in my last video. Excuse me. I updated really horrible dry mouth. It's not any type of euphoric high you get off those, but I felt very stimulated, but at the same time very sluggish, very calm, and my emotions were good. That was probably the only good part about it is, once I started taking it, all that doubt and shame and self-pity, or, suicidal thoughts. I mean, I was going through a lot of shit, guys, and it was bad. And that went away, but I was sweating like a freaking monster, even worse than on opioids. Like, you get the hot and cold sweats, but my armpits, I'd wear a shirt for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and it would be soaked under there. I'm not sweating as much anymore today, so that's good. But yeah, I was sweating like a monster. I had diarrhea the last couple days. My mouth was drier than a frickin' rock in the middle of a desert or something, if that makes sense. Like, it was bad, man. My lips were chapped. I've been sneezing like crazy, like a horrible sneeze. I don't know if that's like a side effect from the withdrawal from the opioid still, or what, but and I did get a little bit of a head cold over the last week, but man, I was sneezing bad, and they would just creep up on me, and so I started reading about it yesterday, because I told my wife, I'm like, I ain't taking this shit today. And then I went to school, I was in the library, and I started reading up on it, and boy, not very many pleasant experiences trying to get off the drug or on the drug, which the doctors do say, hey, this is going to take 3 to 6 weeks for it to take its full effect. There will be some side effects. And I don't know if I said this in my last video. I ended up getting a minor ulcer in the last 6 days. I've been dealing with that too. And so just, man, all this stuff has happened in the last month of my life where I'm just trying to fight to get back to myself, or get to a life of routine, or get to some motivational things in my life. And I do have a lot of fortunate things in my life. I don't want to take that for granted, but good grimy, man, jeez. I'm so glad I read up on it, because there are side effects, like especially if you were on this Cymbalta for over a year or longer, or 8 years, if you try to get off that drug, it's some people were saying it was months. There's side effects from seizures to migraines to cold sweats, and a lot of symptoms from withdrawal from opioids, and just all sorts of stuff, guys, where I just said, I ain't taking that. That's not my goal. I just needed to get my head right. And so, I don't want to take too long on this video, because I got to run here soon. But so I know I recommended that in the first video, like, oh, if you're really struggling, go get on this antidepressant. And I knew antidepressants at the time had withdrawal symptoms. They were difficult to get off, but boy, I didn't know it would be like that. The symptoms I was experiencing from the forums and the things on the internet from doctors were saying that I would still go through them for an additional like 2 to 4 weeks. And I just don't want to live like that, man. I mean, I got off this Subutex for a reason, and I think that I would not recommend it. I'm going to unrecommend it through my experience. And I'm not a doctor. I know I say that a lot, but it's just like I don't want people to take it as like, hey, don't do it. It might be good for you. I don't know. As far as just understand, if you do get on one, the side effects will be there, especially with, I don't know. I've taken Wellbutrin and Cymbalta in my life, and the Wellbutrin, I couldn't take that either, and that was a long time ago. So, and the other good thing that I will say about the Cymbalta, it's not just an antidepressant. It helps with neuro pain. People, that have had, just, general issues. Like I have a bad back, and, I figured it would be good, but I stopped. So the thing I'll say on top of that is, yeah, the detox will be bad, and maybe you'll be down in the dumps, and things will be real dark. But what I'm going to advocate is replenishing those dopamine levels, those neurotransmitters, norepinephrine or whatever they call it. Sorry, no professional here. We can do that naturally. You know, our minds are the strongest things in our bodies, and I'll advocate the gym. Go and get the weights pumping, get the blood flowing, get a run in, go hit the sauna, get those endorphins releasing, those natural endorphins that opioids take away, because the opioids produce so much that our body says, oh, I don't need this anymore. There's a lot of things you can do with natural remedies that will bring us back to sanity, bring us back to our lives, bring us back to our humanity. And that's my goal. And that's why I want to share these things, regardless of how many people watch them. Maybe I look back in 5 years and something bad in my life happens, and I start thinking of relapsing or getting some opioids. I can look back on these videos and understand how, that clarity or that goal I had at the time. So I encourage you guys to make your own videos. You see people that make videos and how many people it helps too. But I think for me, making the videos helped me even more. It documents yourself as well. So I encourage that. So antidepressant, could be some murky waters, and I personally would discourage it, because especially if you're trying to gain that sobriety, that clarity of life again, if you get on one of those antidepressants, I just think that it's just trading something for something else, and that's why I stopped taking it. And so it wasn't unbearable, but I figured if I keep taking it, and I'm the kind of guy that doesn't like to be dependent on things. I mean, I say that. I was, but that's my goal in life. I want to be dependent on myself. I want to be dependent on my healthy life, my healthy self, okay? That is the goal, and I think that's the goal of a lot of opioid addicts. And so I wouldn't recommend it, but I can't sit here and tell you what to do, or I could just tell you what worked for me and how I'm thinking. So anyways, I hope that insight can really help, at least help you process through that dark depression that, if you go through that irritable, anxiety, depression that I did throughout my detox, that this can help. And I can sit here and say today, guys, it's not perfect right now. The puzzle pieces are slowly coming together. Things are going better for me as long as I'm doing the right thing. Be positive, be optimistic, defeat the days, get up and have a positive mindset about yourself especially, but about what you're doing in your life. Get up and say, I'm going to go and frickin' read a book or something, and be positive about it. Even when you don't want to do it, just do it, and I am living proof that the benefits will come. I wish you guys luck. Leave me some comments if you have any. I wish you guys a great weekend. We'll see you next time.